September meeting of the Belleville Area District Library Board shall come to order. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Rosemary, how many times a week do you say that?
Many times.
Many times. Very patriotic lady, don't you?
Well, thank you very much. It's good to see everyone. We do have important work tonight. We will begin by a roll call, and I'm asking Alma Hughes Grubbs, our secretary, to take the roll.
Okay, interesting. Okay, Jariga,
Here.
Peters,
Here,
Stoudemire. Here. Fleming.
excused absent,
Okay. Priest,
excused absence.
Jehevitz,
We're expecting her. She might be here later.
okay,
We have been in touch with her lately. She was intending to come, and I'm hopeful that she will be able to.
and Hughes Grubbs, present.
So we have a quorum. And we will move to accomplish our agenda, and we must approve it before we
So moved.
move along. Moved by
Second.
Jariga and supported by Stoudemire. Any questions? All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed by saying nay. There are no opposing votes. The agenda is approved, and now we want to approve the July 11th regular meeting minutes, which have been attached both electronically and hard copy. And it is moved by Stoudemire and supported by Jariga that we approve the meeting minutes of July 11th for our district library board. Any comments or corrections? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by saying no. There are no dissenting votes. So the motion passes. And we are at public comments.
No comment.
And the public has no comment, but the public is represented.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad to see you here in person. Oh, here she is. As we said, she would be here shortly. I put her across the table so she could stare down John, and it looks like she already slugged him in the eye anyway. Just kidding, John. I'm sorry.
Never.
I'm sorry, John. Let me see. We are at item 6, and the minutes will show that Trustee Jehevitz has joined us. We have a resolutions authorizing millages to the December 2023 tax bill. There are 2 such resolutions, and I will three, excuse me, and I will defer to our treasurer and director to discuss them with us.
So, Director, do we want to review these individually, or do you want to do them as? Individually.
Let's vote individually.
Okay. And can we do a roll call vote? Or no?
You have to do a roll call vote on each one. Yeah.
We have to do a roll call. Oh, I did say, can we do a roll? I didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wanted the opposite outcome because I never managed to remember to slow down. Okay. We're going to do each one. I would begin with number 1, and again, our treasurer.
Actually, it starts with number 2.
It's Resolution, it's the second resolution for this year, but it's the first tax levy, so it's tax
Okay.
levy number one, resolution number.
Oh, I see.
2023,
Yeah,
yeah,
I get it.
And the purpose of this resolution is to provide financial operations for the library. As a result of the voters' approval of our operating millage, in August of 2022. So I motion that we approve the Belleville Area District Library Levy number one, resolution number 2023-0.
I'll second that.
It has been moved and supported properly that we approve the district library levy. The first levy number one, resolution 2023-02. And are there any questions? Appears we have readiness to vote, so I will call the question. All those in favor, please signify. Pardon, oh, we must do a roll call vote. How many times do they need to remind me? So, we gotta work you tonight, Alma.
Okay. Jahevetz? Yes. Jeriga,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes,
Stottlemyre,
Yes.
Hughes Gripes, yes.
the motion carries with no dissenting votes.
Madam Chair, there is the Belleville Area District Library Winter Tax Levy number two. Resolution number 2023-03. This also will provide for the financial operations of the library. And this is as a result of the voter approval back in November of 2016. Madam Chair, I motion that we approve this resolution.
It's been moved and
I'll second that.
moved by Stoudemire, supported by Jeriga, that we approve the winter tax levy number two, resolution 2023-03.
Chair, next is, roll call.
Roll call vote. Both of us are moving.
Yes.
Okay. Jahevetz,
Yes.
Jeriga,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes,
Stottlemyre,
Yes.
Hughes Gripes, yes.
good. The motion carries with no dissenting votes. And now I call again on Treasurer Stoudemire.
So the last one is the Belleville Area District Library Winter Tax Levy number three. This is resolution number 2023-04. And this is for the purpose of making our bond payments. This was also approved by the voters as well in 2016. Madam Chair, I motion that we approve the Belleville Area District Library Winter Tax Levy number three, resolution number 2023-04.
It has been moved and supported by Jahevetz
Yes.
that we approve.
Did you make the
tax levy
motion?
number
Yes.
three.
Yes.
Yeah, she made
She
the
just gave
motion.
me another
I thought she
chance.
just read it.
She made the motion at the end of her report, but she's really smooth.
Yeah, yeah.
So it just moved right along. And Joy was joyfully ready to support that motion. So we, any questions before we take our roll call vote? Madam Secretary?
Jahevetz? Yes. Jeriga,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Stottlemyre,
Yes.
Hughes Gripes, yes.
Wonderful. We have accomplished important part of our public duties. And now I don't think we have any other voting item. Do we? We just have several reports and issues that we may want to discuss as a committee of the whole. So the building committee is our traditional first one that I know of. We did not have an official meeting, but we may have some items that we want to update each other and the public on.
Well, we did not have a meeting, however, I want to bring to attention, this. Mary Jo has it in her report, but I'll just point it out. That O'Neill has apparently given an opinion that we would have to completely replace the railing if we were gonna make any changes. And that at the building committee that I was absent at, who's this guy right in front of me? John, John and Linda, had both, were heavily in agreement that they did not feel that changes were needed to be made, and at that time, according to the minutes, or the notes, there wasn't a vote, but there was an opinion to go ahead and see what options were. And it sounds like there are no options that don't require rebuilding the terrace walls, and so I'm angry, it's not worth that. But I do feel like we needed to do our due diligence to look at if there were simple options.
In the process of our meeting, I asked Dan Whistler, the architect of our building, who has built the $200 million worth of libraries, if he's had other decks on his, he says, oh, yes. I said, has this ever happened on any of the deck? He said, no. So, and we, as Linda and I just thought it was an overreaction, our response to the, changing
To make a change.
changing the
would be
railing,
an
because
overreaction.
besides the railing, which is a standard height, there's a can't think of the name of it. An area where it's pretty wide, by 3 feet. So if you're gonna kill yourself, you're gonna do it in the bathroom or in the day, you know, the way he did that. So strike that from, don't put that in the paper.
If, I think what John is trying to say is if someone is intent on something,
It's
it's not going to matter,
exactly.
they'll find a way,
Mhm.
so.
But I'm going to stand by that I felt like we needed to look to see if there were simple things that we could do.
I love the word simple.
Yeah,
Well, I appreciate that we did have a discussion and some research into what we're really offering everyone, and what we want to offer, that this happened in the spring, and so we want to offer everyone a chance to really fully utilize this building as a gift to this community, and that terrace is a gift to this community, and having people be able to go out there and look out there. And we noticed that because we did keep it closed for a little while, and we noticed what we were missing. So hopefully the enjoyment and the use that it gets
And it's been well used
over,
this
yeah,
summer, so.
and it's very helpful with our young people. And I feel good about our young people getting fresh air. You know, they go out there, they're not unsupervised because it's all windows. So there they are,
when
but
they're getting rowdy, send them out there for a little bit.
yeah, well, you know, sometimes hopping around, and that's the only thing children, young people, sometimes adults, it's the only thing we can do anyway.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I think that the good in it far outweighs the, the risk, because there is a risk. There's a risk and everything. Airplanes can fall out of the air, for heaven's sakes. Meg, I tell you, little Belleville. Well, I appreciate that. Are there other is there anything else that anybody wants to say on that issue? Are there other items having to do, there is a, oh, the elevator, yeah, so that,
If you wanna talk about it here or during my report.
oh, we can wait, let you
Okay.
talk about it. There's gonna always be building things.
Yeah.
There, we've got a lot to maintain, and it's important that we do it right, so I think we are. So anyway, but that was a special issue. So are we ready to move on to the bylaws committee?
Yes, no report.
There we go, and the finance committee, we've done a heavy lifting, haven't we? No report, no further action on finance. Marketing, Alma?
Nothing to report.
Okay. We might wanna plan some kind of meeting for fall and before the holidays and for whatever else we'll do. We didn't get to, yeah, we might, I don't know. What do you think? I wanna ask if people think that would be a good idea.
Or what, what's the agenda, why, what's the agenda?
For the marketing committee, over the holiday season and engagement. I don't know, it's marketing as much as engagement with the community. There's so much going on. The library does all this stuff. I just wondered if the committee shouldn't talk about it.
This committee.
Well, that's fine.
Oh, well, let's
That's fine.
plan it for some time, either late September or early October. And I'll work with Alma to find a good time, and of course, Mary Jo will be working with us too, and the other person on that committee might be Linda.
Is it Dan?
Isn't Dan? One or the other, both of them can
I don't
call.
remember, I'll have to look.
I think so.
Yeah. I know Linda took some of the things that Mary Jane was doing, and Dan took some of the things, so. One or the other of them. Then the personnel committee, Linda isn't here, and there really isn't a personnel report probably until another couple of months. And Dan, likewise, Dan isn't here, and I don't believe there was anything under policy that we did since the last meeting. And the art committee, I think they had just, really, Michelle Montour does so much on her own, and she does an excellent job of displaying all the art. So was this exhibit up when the current exhibit, was it up when we were here last?
I can't remember.
This is the local artists, women, a coalition of women artists. Quite lovely pieces.
So.
Yeah, I can't remember when it went up.
Because we had the Baca exhibit for quite a while, and it was excellent as well. This one is a very good one, so if you haven't yet, you might want to look at the pieces, and they are for sale, and they're identified, and there's information kind of nearby each of the pieces. So art continues to be an item, a shifting and evolving item in our building. So with that, we move to a favorite, all-time favorite, accounts payable. Item 8, we need to approve the accounts payable, and we've got a lot of payments we've made. B's in the D, and did a lecture, no, it's,
They're going to be doing a lecture for Harvest Fest.
no.
Who's that?
B's in
B's in
the
the
D.
D.
To do our, yeah.
It's a good, partnership for us to have a good connection. And I did look through all of these and see they.
Coming and doing a harvest soon.
Pardon?
Are they coming and doing honey
Oh,
harvest?
Trying to remember when they did that last year. I think it wasn't until
Yeah, it's usually late
later,
fall.
later fall, yeah.
Any honey?
I hope so. It better be.
Oh, that would be fun, and we'll have our little jars again.
Yeah.
Good. For the friends.
I'm sure I don't see anything out of the ordinary here. Motion that we approve the next year reports.
I'll second that.
It has been moved by Stonemeyer and supported by John Torrega that we approve our accounts payable for the month of September. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? There are no nays, so the motion carries unanimously. And we now move on to the director's report.
Okay, let's pick up on building stuff. The city was working out on Royce Street, well, the city's contractors were working out on Royce Street yesterday. They were there all day digging. I'm not sure what they did or found out, so can't tell you what exactly happened, but hopefully whatever issue there might have been has been resolved. Because there was a big hole.
But the city's paying for
Yeah, this is not a library.
No, so hopefully this will resolve everything. And
It'll resolve the
Yeah.
church and
And then we
library
can get the
questions
sidewalk
about
for it
that.
and we'll be all set.
Yeah.
The tornado, and we're almost tornado, in the end of August. Wreaked havoc with some of our technology, so our branch was knocked out for a while, the burglar alarm was knocked out for a little while, they had to come and repair that. It also knocked out all of our analog phone lines in this building. We go through Clear Rate for that service, but they get, the physical lines are serviced by AT&T. And as I.
You've been hearing quite a bit about AT&T.
it. The dentist's office down the road has been out for 3 weeks. They finally got it on today.
So maybe there's hope for this.
Yeah.
So I just worry because I know that eventually all those old copper lines are, they want to phase those out. We have three lines in our building. One is for the elevator phone, one is for the fire alarm phone. And then we've got a old-fashioned fax machine upstairs, which we actually depend on a lot. A lot of times if people are trying to fax to the state or other government entities, of the modern internet faxing just doesn't work. So we've been.
It really doesn't work.
It just doesn't work, yeah.
It's not.
It's frustrating. Short term, I'm hoping to get all of this back. That would be the easiest thing to deal with. If this continues to be an issue, and even in the long term, we need to start looking at figuring out how to replace the analog lines. There is capability to do that with the elevator, to go to a cellular system, also with the fire phone to go to a cellular system. So that might be something we need to look into. Fax machine, I don't know what to tell you. People need to scan things instead, but.
Our director has even sent messages of the ranks in the state
Yeah.
to
That they need to
change the
change, yeah.
HHS and those kinds of, but MISTA requires faxes.
That's the problem, they require a fax, yeah.
Yeah, I remember when they were just getting faxes, I was at the Secretary of State and, people needed records to come right away and they it was very difficult to get all of state government to go to, and Secretary of State did it before a lot of them did. So now they are also having trouble moving to the next stages.
So anyway, that could potentially be a work in progress. We're just retooling and getting into all of our fall programming. I'm excited about Harvest Fest coming up in October. We've kind of revamped all of our programs for that, so I think it will be a good time for everyone.
I'll be twiddling my thumbs.
Yeah, I know. Although I did reach out to Rick to see if he could get the apples for us. So
did
we're
you?
still gonna do that.
He didn't tell me that. He
Yeah,
said you
just texted. him
asked where they
yesterday.
were. Where to get them. He
No.
didn't say.
Oh, no, I asked
to
him
get
to
them. You mentioned it.
Yeah, so, but yeah, we've got a couple staff members who are working on that. They're very excited about it. So we're actually also looking at Winterfest, so it won't be long before that starts. This Thursday, if you're not doing anything, we're starting up our classic movie series again. So On the Waterfront is the featured movie,
Marlon Brando.
and popcorn is on order, so.
These are the areas, all of this are the things that I was thinking of when I talked about our marketing committee maybe meeting, because we do get good information. The library does all kinds of things to promote all of these. But we as a board, we have a lot of good ideas. Linda will be good for that too, so. It'd be good to talk about all of those, and maybe if we could help in any way. And Mary Jo is always happy to have us come down and participate.
Yes,
When we designed this building and the elevator shaft, which is really, really much lower than the building, we put in a sump pump and a generator. Do we have any indication that that worked or what, or how do we know anything about this?
well, nothing flooded, so. And the elevator is working, so.
Okay, all right. That's a good sign.
Yes, it works.
Was there flooding right around this building, near this building?
I didn't hear that there was.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Zero clearance into the building. and
Yeah.
just- Yeah, wow.
There
So,
sure was in our
That was
neighborhood.
some
Oh,
powerful,
yeah.
powerful rains.
From that
Yeah.
floods are horrible.
I know, I know. Yeah. So.
Is your neighborhood flood?
My backyard.
So, I was actually, it's probably not a bad thing that you didn't meet in August, because Carol, who helps put the board packs and everything together, was on a little bit of a leave of absence as well, so this worked out, so. We're very happy to have her back. Our adult services department has been busy working on hiring a full-time adult services outreach librarian. They have hired our current part-time librarian, Jennifer Richardson, accepted this position. So we've got a lot of ideas, for her, for some of our outreach efforts and outreach into the community, as well as some projects that have kind of fallen by the wayside. In the old building, we had a literacy program, we had literacy volunteers, so some of those types of things where we would like to bring that back online.
I wanted to say something on that one. That's really an interesting position and a very good step forward that this library is undertaking, to be able to have an outreach librarian. And I'm understanding, I was intrigued with it, and I've talked with Amy Greshow and with Mary Jo and Hillary and with Jen, the potential, and also with the youth librarians, the children's librarians. They already have outreach, which is kind of in a different place than what we're thinking about with this adult outreach. I think it's a great opportunity for a library. It's very lucky that we can operate to have that kind of outreach in the community. Joy, as in her building, is every day, all day, full-time outreach to her community.
Not outside of my building. I can't hardly get out. Well, now I don't have a building, but.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot a lot of outreach in the work, even within the building, but to be able to have the luxury of having someone to be able to get out in the community. And I know they're really thinking about helping our senior communities, people that have a harder time getting in and, you know, coming to the building, and making sure that they're able to avail themselves of our services. And so we're promoting with that as well. So I appreciate that. I think that's a lot of fun, and be interested how Jen does. When does she start that?
She's actually gonna be starting at the beginning of November.
Okay, so she has a little bit of time. Mhm.
So, and I also wanted to just bring up an observation. I worked the Labor Day Sunday, was my Sunday to work. And I was wondering, like, well, whose idea was it to be open on the Sunday before Labor Day? Oh, it was my idea. But having said that, we were actually very busy, and I looked at the numbers, and our people count for that Sunday was pretty close to the count from the week before. So we were actually well used. A lot of people were very appreciative that we were open. So I felt
You're gonna keep doing that?
so, yeah, I think so, yeah. I mean, I felt like the numbers bore it out, and I had a great day. I was covering the youth services desk, and saw a lot of good things. I saw a parent playing with those early literacy panels with her child.
Oh,
and
good.
yeah, so it was a nice day.
Yeah, I have so much fun when I sit in that room and watch what people do.
Yeah. So speaking of libraries and communities and outreach, since you didn't meet in August, I give you an extra long article.
I like
read in
it.
your board pack, so.
I like it.
This is a report that the Public Library Association put out. Just kind of gives you a little glimpse into what different libraries are doing in their communities and how they kind of fit in. And some of the services that they offer. Some of the things that they do both formally and informally. I think a lot of libraries do a lot of things informally.
Mhm.
And I think that in some ways that can be our strength, because we can adapt easily.
I glanced through this. One of the things I was kind of surprised at how much libraries are starting to get into basic needs, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
because there's a gap to be filled.
Yeah. As always, Director Such has given us a very thorough report and really ending it. Well, I'm not sure if she's ending it with, we
I'm
talked
done.
about it now.
Yeah.
So, but this report is something that we can look at over time and maybe want to discuss. It's really helpful for us to get a sense of other libraries and programs. But yeah, as Joy's last comment just indicated, the world we live in, the environment we are in with people's needs does change what our experience is in being a library. I'm glad that we've got the flexibility that we have. Again, we did talk about it the last, we haven't had a meeting since the late August. Again, our library was really helpful for people who had power outages. They could come in and recharge the batteries and sit and collect themselves. So there's a lot of things, a lot of new things. So, yeah. Exciting, also exciting about Harvest Fest, which I think the board has always been pretty active with Harvest Fest.
Mhm.
So it's again, good, a good thing for us to start thinking of. I think I already have it on my calendar, but I'm gonna double check.
October 14th.
There we go. Are there any other Questions for Mary Jo? Then we are at the time where it's time, thank you, Mary Jo, that's a good report as always. It's time for our directors to talk. John, have you been traveling since you were here last month? Were you traveling?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Key West.
A little bit,
No.
just a little bit.
If I ever run away from home, I'll be in Key West.
Yeah. You're a Key West kind of guy.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, after that heavy rainstorm, I called Hillary to have her check on the bees and make sure they weren't compromised, and she did. And they were not compromised, so I was happy about that. Also, under marketing, I indirectly got an idea. We were at, sounds strange, we were at Egan's Pub eating, and she couldn't find a pen that to sign the documents. And so I whipped out a pen, and she said, people keep stealing our pens. So Mrs. J, my wife, went home, we have tons of pens, and gave her a bunch of pens. And I thought, why at the library don't we give them a couple boxes of pens? People steal them, they say, oh, that's from the library.
That's a marketing idea.
Very inexpensive marketing idea. And also I passed these out. Julie Kissel's here to explain it better, either now or whenever.
Yeah, whatever. I missed the public comment, so I apologize for
Okay.
that. So, so two things. So first of all, dress our truck. So the fire department is getting their first new truck in years, through grants and such. So of course, even though it's about $450,000, it doesn't come with everything that you need. So
You paid $500,000, would it have everything?
so we are doing events with the auxiliary and sponsoring a benefit, and BYC is actually doing most of all the food and offering their space for us as well. And essentially, it's going to be to dress our truck, and all of the proceeds will go to getting all of the cool things that we need to get the truck up and running for the things that we need locally. For that. So you have the information. This is October 7th, so the week before Harvest Fest. It will be held at the BYC. Doors open at 4:30, but essentially 5 until 9. I believe we're actually looking for a musician who's going to be playing the guitar and singing. John wants to dance. He told me. It's $30 per person if you just want to go with a straight ticket, or if you want to actually do some sponsorship, you can buy portions of a table essentially and have everything kind of prepaid ahead of time and get some other bonuses with that and identification. I've already talked to Hillary, who talked to Mary Jo, and the library is going to provide 2 swag bags or baskets for the raffle.
Okay.
One for adults and one for children. And I do have I can provide from the auxiliary, the nonprofit form for the donation. So if you need that, I can get that to you as well. I'm not certain if you.
We don't need that, but I do have the, anytime you want to pick up the bag.
Yes.
Okay.
Excellent, yeah, I can come and do that sometime this week and get them off your hands. So we're very excited about that. There'll be lots of raffle items from all of our local businesses. And then I think right now the big raffle item that will be done silent auction. You have 2 opportunities to purchase time in the 747 simulators at Belleville Airport.
Wow.
So that will be, if you want to try to fly. You can crash it if you really want to, you won't hurt. But we're looking forward to the night, and it'll be the first time that we do anything like this. But we might even have, right now, the truck will be in the parking lot for us to even look at. So I invite you all to join us. It should be a good time for the community.
Another auction item would be to have a free ride on the new truck during the Christmas.
Actually,
parade.
it is, we are gonna raffle off an opportunity to ride during the parade, and then also time, we'll have a couple raffles for lunch with firefighters and a tour of the fire department and
Excellent.
everything else. So, yes, we're looking forward to all that. So lots of family things as well as a little more adult themed activities.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
That's it.
Thank you, both. Well, Joy,
I think I have it. Oh, it's bad. I don't think I have anything. I'm glad we have an outreach librarian. I think that there's endless opportunities to do outreach and burnout. Or get lots and lots of volunteers. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think, well, I don't know, I would think that outreach should, both you and Mary Jo will be really valuable to the outreach work by your knowledge of libraries and their communities and how they fit together. Anyway, thank you. Alma? You've been traveling, haven't you?
A little,
Yeah.
yeah. Just wanted to say a special condolences to Mary Jane Dawson and her family. I was able to attend the memorial service, and I know that she has been very helpful, to the community, and it was very well attended and a wonderful celebration of life for her daughter-in-law.
Thank you. That was good that you were there, and I'm sure that meant a lot to her and them. And that, you're finished?
Oh, yes, I am. I'm sorry.
Okay. Time.
So I'm looking forward to the lovely flyers that we get now that school's back in, and we'll have all these activities going on at the library. I always look forward to great flyers that you include in our packets every month, so that's really like a highlight for me, so.
I agree with that, and it's a nod to the professionalism of our staff. Because so many of them do so many things and are so creative. And on that note, I think it's time for me to say a comment or two. And I am thrilled to say that over the course of the summer, and since we did not meet in August, I have had visits from all three of my granddaughters, and they've been able to come to the library, which is and they were all, it was all wonderful. And on one of the things that Tanya just said, I noticed, well, especially with my the granddaughter that just visited in late August, she's a graphics novel fan. She's 6. She's quite a good little reader, but she was she was really interested in that area, and she met Cam, and Cam is so relatable with young kids. He is just, our staff is, our children's staff is, they all are, but Cam is particularly good with young kids, but also youth.
Every age.
Yeah, every age. He's just really nice. And he has graphics up on his board at his desk. My granddaughter and I sat there, and one of his graphics has James Baldwin in it. It's a quote from Baldwin and a graphic, cartoon graphic of James Baldwin's wisdom. And the picture of my granddaughter and I under it was nice for us because my other granddaughter is named for James Baldwin. Her first name is Baldwin. So it was, I thought that was a good family photo. And I thank Cam for it. He has a nice display at his desk. And I just appreciate the staff of this library so much. We're really blessed. Thank you, Mary Jo, for putting all that together and making it something that all of us can enjoy. I think that's all I have. I'll talk with Alma about a time for our marketing.
Madam Chair,
Yeah.
I make a motion that this meeting be adjourned.
Oh, boy, oh, boy. Support all around, I do believe. All in favor? This meeting is adjourned.